Hello and welcome to the Gaming Codex, the show right to explain to you all the various terms used to describe video games, the gaming industry, and many more things relating to video games in general. Today's term is RTS. Real-time strategy. Like many other game genres, there is no dictionary definition for RTS, which kinda makes you wonder why we don't make a dictionary. I should probably get on that soon, but there is a general definition of RTS. Wikipedia actually has two of them, the longer one being a game where the participants position and maneuver units and structures under their control to secure areas of the map and or destroy their opponent's assets. In a typical RTS, it is possible to create additional units and structures during the course of the game. This is generally limited by a requirement to expand and accumulate resources. These resources are in turn generated by controlling special points on the map and or possessing certain types of units and structures devoted to this purpose. A very long definition and quite accurate, I must say. The shorter one would be the typical game of the RTS genre features resource gathering, base building, in-game technological development, and indirect control of units, meaning you don't get to manually command each one of the units like they were your character, you just tell them where to go and what to do. And yes, that also fits the RTS perfectly. RTS is a genre where you are the commander, you are in command, you are in HQ, you are giving orders, you are looking at the map, you are telling people where to go, what to do, and you constantly come up with new strategies, not just tactics, but strategies through which you may achieve victory or fail outright. The defining difference between RTS and RTT is the economical aspect. A real-time tactics game lacks that completely, but real-time strategy features both resource gathering as well as base building. This is a very important thing because without these, without actually getting resources, either by making your harvesters and going to plow a field of spice or controlling nodes that generate points and using those points and resources to build things, buildings, units, stuff. You are not in RTS territory anymore, you're just focused on direct combat, not on the strategic placement of your buildings, your bases, not on your economy, not on, the stuff that makes RTS more than just direct combat. And the great thing about an RTS is that it can take a lot of shapes and forms. As long as it conforms to that recipe, it can be in first person, third person. It can let you have more direct control over your units. The Spellforce series, I believe, did let you control one individual unit as your hero. There was that thing that sort of looked like Age of Empires where you control sort of Cleopatra with a magic bow. I forget the name of the game. Though you can argue that those are a bit hybridized. They're not necessarily just RTS because you do control other things more directly, but the core structure of them is still an RTS. That's the important thing to remember. So what would the popular definition of the RTS be? Well, anything top-down where you move a unit. No, really, that is the popular definition of the RTS. That's what people see in their mind when they think, oh, RTS, yeah, you have a unit and you move it around. A unit. One. You don't build structures, you don't build units, you just move one unit around the map. That's an RTS, some people. It got to utterly ridiculous, bullshitty levels where people were saying that Dota was an RTS. No. And they would come up with arguments like, well, Warcraft 3 was an RTS, so Dota's an RTS too. No. League of Legends an RTS because it's like, no. Well, then it's an action RTS. No. Goddamn no. Because, MOBAs, which people call real-time strategy games now, sometimes, they used to call them a lot more, are not RTS games because you don't build things, not structures, and not units, and you don't control more than one. And no, techies and Lost Vikings don't count as an army. It's been a sad decade for RTS games. Sure, we have Starcraft 2, which was a fine game. I keep hearing that the Grey Goo is superb. Never had a chance to play it. Didn't make any headway to actually getting in touch with the publisher. Actually wanted to do an interview with the people that worked on the game, but they were kind of doing their own PR thing and they didn't need little people talking about their game. It's okay, I understand. I'm not upset, I'm not mad. No. But for the most part, the RTS has kind of hit a slump. It had its heyday back in the 90s. It was defined by games like Dune 2. It was defined by games like Command and Conquer. and later Warcraft 2. Yeah, Warcraft 1 wasn't that good. And it was a popular, extremely popular genre until it was killed off by Starcraft, because Starcraft became the de facto RTS, what people saw as being the perfect RTS, much like World of Warcraft basically killed every other MMO. It swallowed up the market and, well, it kinda died a bit. The genre became synonymous with Starcraft, and in some regions of the world like South Korea, Starcraft is basically the king. I doubt that any other RTS will come close to that popularity ever, even though I particularly love Red Alert 2, just for being ridiculous and fun. In terms of general appeal, it's not gonna come close ever to StarCraft. Heck, some even say that even Blizzard didn't come close with StarCraft 2 to StarCraft, though it was a lot more fun, possibly because it was designed by the lead designer of Red Alert 2. Now, what is the marketing definition of? Well, that would be StarCraft. Yeah, if you wanna sell an RTS, just say StarCraft. Yeah, people know what it is. People will understand, oh yeah, it's like that game. Well, not for me, I'm gonna go back to playing Dota. Now, that's an RTS. So yeah, the term RTS is basically only used now to sort of try and rekindle the popularity of the RTS genre, which hasn't quite happened, so don't expect a lot of RTSs anytime soon. It flamed out worse than the adventure game, possibly even more so because of the whole mobile aspect and Facebook aspect, where basically everything started being called an RTS, a real-time strategy. Farmville even at one time was being called a strategy game. It wasn't. It was barely a game. And you do have your mobile Clash of Hero Clans something war stuff that's sort of in the vein of RTS. They began out as being described as real-time strategy games. Well, some of them even use Age of Empires 2 graphics to trick people into thinking, oh, it's like that game I used to love a decade ago. But they're not really in the same kind of genre, because they're, I wouldn't say even the casual version of RTS, they're just not that good or that games or that well fitting into the definition of RTS. And so closes this new chapter in the Gaming Codex. Come back next time when I'm gonna have a brand new term for you to talk about. See you soon. Thank you for watching this show. If you enjoyed it, please consider watching some of our other videos and maybe sharing them or giving a thumbs up if you feel like it. And if you really liked what you saw, please check out our Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you could help us make much better shows and get some rewards in the process. Or you could consider buying my book called Tale of Doom. Volume 1 is out now and available for just $2. And as always, if you thought it was horrible, you know where to find me and complain about it.